So today I'm going to be doing my final review for the Etude House Tiny Twinkle collection. Thank you for staying with me for the past few weeks. I kind of wanted to spread these out just a little bit so it wasn't too much, but finally I'm going to be reviewing the last product from the set that I picked up, and this is the Tiny Twinkle Mini Drop Pearl Base Kit. So this one comes in a little tin. I really like the packaging of this one because I feel like I could use this little tin to hold other things. And then these are the products that come in this set. So you get 3 different little pearl drop colors. Like I mentioned in my haul video, I got mine from Rosary Shop, but at the time I'm filming this, it seems like they are no longer carrying the Tiny Twinkle collection, or they're just sold out. I'm not quite sure, but you can still get this from Yes Style as well. The price is a little bit more expensive than what I paid for from Rosary Shop. So from Rosary Shop, I paid $15.97, and on Yes Style, it is $19.92. So it's a little bit more expensive, and I will just get started and share with you guys all the colors that you get in this set, what they look like, and whether I would recommend these or not. So these are the 3 colors that you get in this set. One thing I really like is the packaging of this is super nice. These are really small, but these are actual glass little dropper bottles, so it's not like a cheap plastic or anything. So I'm glad that they're like in a little bit of a nicer packaging, because this one was a little bit more expensive in my opinion, especially for what you get. But these are the 3 colors. They are 10 milliliters a piece. And first off, the first one I have here is the more like white pearly one. This one is in the color Merry Diamond. Next is this one's like a bit of a peachier coral one, and this one is called Coral Snowball. And then the final one I have is the most like purpley lavender of the 3, and this one is called Twinkle Pendant. So really quickly, these are the colors on my hands. I will do more of like an up close swatch so you can see better at what these colors are like, but I'm just gonna do a little bit of light blending on my hand, and so you can get an idea of what these are like. So these are definitely a little bit more of a thinner texture in my opinion. They're not as extremely super pigmented as like some other brands that make similar products like this, but I kind of like that more because they feel like a little bit, I don't know, less intimidating than products like the, what's it called? Cover FX enhancing drops, the like metallic ones that they make. These are definitely a lot sheerer than those, but I feel like these kind of lend themselves a little bit better to either mixing into foundations or applying before a foundation, just kind of depending on however you like to use these. These do have a bit of like almost like a rose kind of scent in my opinion, and these have a very like thin, slightly oily kind of consistency to them. So this is definitely something in my opinion I would prefer to either use these in either like mixing in with a foundation to kind of give it a little bit more shine, or just applying it straight to my skin before applying my foundation. That's how I did it today, and I really like how that turned out the best. The one I used was the Merry Diamond color. I just did that all over my face, and overall I feel like it just kind of gave my foundation a little bit more of a dewier, kind of luminous base. Aside from having that tinted kind of base color to it as well, these all do have micro shimmer particles to them. They are extremely fine, so it's not like super chunky glitter or anything like that, but there is definite glitter to this. So if that's not something you're into, then you probably would want to stay away from these products. But now we'll get into a little bit of the swatching kind of demo portion. Most of these I just applied to my cheekbones and showed how it looked, but to be honest, I don't think that's my favorite way to use the product, just because I feel like since it's slightly more of an oilier texture, I feel like it could break down the foundation just a little bit. So just an application technique I have is to put a drop on the back of your hand, kind of tap it in a bit, and then just use your fingers to apply it. I found that if you want to do a cheekbone highlight with that, then that is the best way in my opinion to apply it. And of course, if you're just applying it all over your face, you can just use your fingers. I feel like that worked really well. And then of course, if you were mixing it into a foundation, just using your sponge or makeup brush or however you prefer to apply your foundation works great. This one is called Twinkle Pendant, and it's a bit of a kind of like a white pearly lavender kind of color. So I'm going to start by just applying a little bit of that to the back of my hand. So that is about the color, and I'm just going to kind of blend it out so I don't have too much, and I'm going to apply it to my cheekbones with my finger and then just blend that in. And that is the color Twinkle Pendant. I really like this one because it's not too purpley, it just has that hint of purple. And this is the color Coral Snowball. As usual, I'm going to start by applying this one to the back of my hand first. So here is the color, and I'm going to just kind of blend it in a little bit so I don't get too much, but you can see that's kind of what the color looks like. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that and dab it across my cheekbones. and that is the color. You can see how much like kind of gloss it really added to the skin. So that's how it kind of looks on my hand. You can see it definitely added a lot of shine compared to my other hand, nothing, and like super glossy, shiny, shimmering, splendid. And yeah, so that is the color Coral Snowball. So as far as the entire kit, like I said, I paid $15.97 for this one, which was a little bit more expensive than what I feel like I would have wanted to pay for this, because that makes it come down to about $5.32 per little dropper bottle. And again, these are about 10 milliliters of product, so it's not a whole lot. So it does feel like when I'm looking at this isolated, I feel like, you know, would I pay $5 and change for this? It just feels a little bit expensive for what it is. And of course, if you are buying this from Yes Style, it's going to be even more expensive. It's going to be about like $6.64 or so per actual dropper. So one way I just like to kind of evaluate these sets and stuff is to break it down and think, you know, would I pay this much for it individually? And of course you can't buy these individually like that, but at least for me, if I think about it that way, it kind of helps me evaluate whether I think the set is worth it for me or not. And at least for me, it does seem a little bit high for, you know, the size of this, because it is a little bit on the smaller side. Now, of course, this would still last you quite a while because you don't need that much at all. So it's always like a trade-off in just how you prefer to look at things. But if I had like bought this individually and I wasn't quite aware of the size of it and I opened it up and this is what I got, I would feel like it's a little bit on the small side. So overall, what do I think about this product? Honestly, I like it, but it's nothing that wows me, and it's nothing that truly stands out amongst other kind of these like pearly highlighting products or like base colors or mix and drops, whatever you want to use these for. They just don't stand out that much for me. I do like these products and I feel like I would continue to use them, but is it something I feel like you need and should spend your money on? To be honest, I don't really think so. I feel like they're just kind of average, especially if you're someone who likes a lot more intense shimmer and shine kind of products, then you probably won't like this one as much because it is a bit more on the sheer side. But otherwise, yeah, I just kind of have to give this like a very reluctant bye-bye, just because I don't think they were that special. But is it something I would buy again knowing what I know now? I don't think it is. And so that is it for the last of my Etude House Tiny Twinkle collection review. So now that I've reviewed all 4 of the products, how would I rank them? Number 1 would of course have to go to the Mirrorholic mini ornament. The glitter shadows are just so beautiful, so that's my number 1 pick. If you want one thing from this collection, that would have to be it. Number 2 would of course be the lip lacquer ornament. That one is another really good one if you're more into lip products. Number 3 I would have to give to these, because I feel like you can do so much with them and I do like them. And then of course number 4 goes to the Tiny Twinkle eyeshadow palette. I just overall was not very impressed with that, and especially for about 15 bucks that I paid for it, it just kind of fell really flat. So that one unfortunately has to take my least favorite spot. But overall, I hope you guys enjoyed me reviewing this Tiny Twinkle collection, and next I think I'm going to be moving on to the Peri Para ASMR collection. That one's been out for a little bit longer, so I'm sure anyone who's really interested has already seen those videos or made their decision on it or have purchased it or not, but that's probably going to be the next batch of videos that I will have coming out very soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below, and until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.